The Aries 3 by ALPS Mountaineering is our go-to tent for our camping trips. What are our thoughts? We'll cover that and more in this video. Opening up the included carrying bag, you will find the tent, the fly, aluminum tent poles, tent stakes, and guy lines. The tent does not come with the footprint. With the tent fully packed into its bag, it measures about 8 inches across and 20 inches tall. Altogether, this weighs about 7.5 pounds. Setup of the tent is quite simple. First, choose a suitable location for your tent. If you decided to buy the footprint, go ahead and lay it down first. Otherwise, go ahead and place the tent on the ground, keeping in mind the location of the doors. Next, go ahead and assemble the 2 longer poles and place them over the tent. This tent is asymmetrical, so keep an eye on the color of both the pole ends and the tabs on the tent. Orange goes with orange, black with black. There are 2 grommets per corner, so start with the outside grommets, and if the tent seems too loose, move to the inside grommets for more tension. At this point, the poles will arc but will fall sideways. It may be helpful to have someone hold the poles upright while you do this. Once the poles are in place, clip the tent to the poles. As for the topmost hook, well, we haven't really found the best way to use this one, but the good news is it doesn't seem to matter. No matter which way we tried, it doesn't seem to sit very well, but as long as it's not laying loose, it seems to hold well. Now your tent is up, but it's looking a little flappy. Grab that final third shorter pole and lay it across the first 2, hooking the ends into each grommet above each door. Lastly, stake down the 4 corners of the tent and attach the gear loft to the roof of the tent. If you wish to stargaze in the evening, you may leave the tent in this configuration. However, if you do not like the bothers of wind, rain, dew, and a little bit of privacy, you may wish to attach the fly at this point as well. To add the fly, lay it across the tent, keeping in mind that same orange and black color coordination from the tabs. The cross pole that is above the tent will hook into 2 grommets that are underneath the fly as well. 4 guy lines are included for more windy conditions, and there is a ventilation hole at the top of the fly that can be closed if you don't want to use it. The Aries 3 is advertised as a backpacking tent, but at 7.5 pounds, it's not exactly the lightest tent out there. However, if you share the load between the 1 or 2 people who will be joining you, the weight becomes much more manageable per person. With a total of 3 people and/or dogs, you will sleep comfortably. There are gear pouches in each of the 4 corners, as well as the gear loft, and your gear itself can stay nice and safe under the 2 vestibules. We've been using this tent now for quite some time, and we've enjoyed every trip with it. The mesh construction makes the ventilation nice and breezy and allows for stargazing at night. And the mesh is not too fragile either. Our dog has camped with us several times, and being the dog that he is, has attempted to paw his way out of the tent while the door is closed, and yet we have not had a single hole torn yet. Keep in mind, however, that our dog is small and not very strong. Don't expect this tent to hold up to your Irish Wolfhound. Now there are a couple of drawbacks that I must list about this tent. First off, the lack of an included footprint. This is something that we always use, and to not include it in the packaging is just really annoying. I would rather buy something that I don't need than to spend all my money on the tent just to find out that it's missing a critical component that I really want, especially when it comes to protecting the wear and tear of the tent. Secondly, if you read any of the reviews, you have probably noticed many comments about the fly leaking above the doors. This is a rather major concern, however, since the whole point of the fly is to keep water out of the tent. However, we did our research and so sealed the seams of our fly with seam sealant. So far, we've had no problems, but it is a constant thought on our minds while we camp. Cons aside, however, this has been an amazing tent for us. From the quality of the construction materials down to the pull strings on the zippers, it's clear that they were trying to make something that was of decent quality rather than the cheaper stuff like the last tent I reviewed. If you're looking for a tent that offers great views and durability, this is certainly a good choice. Well, that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from us, get subscribed and maybe leave a comment below on what you'd like to see. We'll see you next time.